Hello, America. I've got to take you to the woodshed tonight. This is my little post-election video. And actually, to be honest, I'm filming this about 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, November the 8th, so I actually don't know how the election turned out yet. That's the reason I'm filming it now. Now, this video is me actually trying to make the case for why we need the Electoral College. The reason I'm doing that is because I have a strong suspicion that in this election, the electoral votes are going to go one way and the popular vote is going to go the other way. Just a suspicion. Now, the authors of our Constitution put in place several fail-safes to make sure that we would remain a democratic republic rather than a pure democracy. That's one of the things that they really wanted to guard against. One of those fail-safes is the Electoral College. If presidential elections were decided by popular vote only, what that would mean is this. Presidential candidates would only have to campaign in about half a dozen high population centers. The rest of the country, like places out here where I live in flyover country, these places, they wouldn't even have to campaign out here, just in the big cities, and possibly they'd have to visit Texas. Using the Electoral College forces candidates to campaign out in flyover country, and also it forces them to keep their public discourse more in keeping with the values of the common man, and that affects the culture. The authors of our Constitution were very suspicious of pure democracy. Pure democracy is nothing more or less than mob rule on a national scale. The old adage really is true. Pure democracy is simply two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner. The fact that we have an electoral college is really a tribute to the foresight of the authors of our Constitution. It really shows their genius. They did not want mob rule. One of the scariest things and in history that anyone has ever seen is an angry mob. They're impossible to appease, always unpredictable, and very rarely just. We don't want mob rule in this country. We do not want the victorious majority running roughshod over the recently defeated minority. We've never wanted that. That's never been our way. Mob rule is a very scary thing. Our forefathers wanted to guard against it. There are several fail-safes, several roadblocks to mob rule that our forefathers put into the Constitution. One of them is the Electoral College. You don't have to look very far before you find historical examples of an angry mob carrying out great injustices. The most famous of which is an angry mob who shouted, "Give us Barabbas."